Welcome back, everybody, to the Grip Wild Men Who Matter podcast. Another week, another episode, and I am here with my man, the one, the only, Steve-O.
Steve-O. I hadn't been called Steve-O in a while. They used to call me that in college. I think it was back in the day where Steve-O off of that one show.
That show we can't say the name of.
Yeah, they did all those crazy tricks. I don't even remember the name of the show, but was kind of popular. But what's up, everybody? Look, I am excited to be here. My eyes are burning. I believe they're red. And it's not because I'm all jacked up on caffeine. It's because my kids don't know how to sleep. If y'all are listening, y'all need to start sleeping more at night. Man, I come off a night of, I think every kid I have, which I have 5 of them if you guys don't know, got up out of bed, woke me up over and over again. I finally said at one point, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to the couch. But it was a long night. Eyes are burning, but I am excited to be here today. And I know I say that every week, so you guys should probably get the hint that I love doing this. So I'm so grateful that we get to do this again, B, that we get to hopefully encourage you guys to just go be men who matter in this world and in the world around you. And so as we dive in today, I just want you to know on the front end, go into what we talk about today on the front end, that you are a man who matters.
Here's my question. When's the last time you did something for the first time?
Ooh, you stole my line there, B. That's
jumped on
okay.
it.
That's okay. That's exactly right. I love it. I love this thought. I got challenged with this by my wife just this past week, and she thought she was going to get me. But I got her back because I'd actually done a few things this year for the first time in my life. And so it wasn't very long ago that I did something for the first time. But look, this is what we want you guys to really chew on today. And we're gonna peel it back. We're gonna layer this thing back. But I want you to think about this as we're talking and just gabbing along. When is the last time you did something for the first time? Think about it. When's the last time in your life you did something for the first time in your life? It's pretty profound.
I'm, scratching my head over here trying to figure that out. I mean, the reality is, I think in the last year since we kind of launched into this journey, you and I have done a lot of things for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
This podcast being one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to kind of rattle some stuff off to my wife. I was like, I started a podcast in January, and that was the first time. And then I took my son trout fishing for the first time in spring break. And then I'd recently done something in June. I was like, this is the first time I'd ever done that. And I think she was trying to get me because I think she was trying to motivate me to, be more adventurous in my life. And probably because she wants me to take her on more adventurous trips, just to be honest. But as whatever her motives were, it really was a profound statement in my life, and it got me thinking about how do I put myself in that position all the time? Because if you think about that statement, if you put that statement in the forefront of your thoughts, man, it really could move the needle for you in your life. And what I mean by that, and really, the way I want to peel this back is because one of the things that really means a lot to me in my pursuit of helping men and really getting out of my own struggles and my own ditch that I was in for a long time, and there's a word that I'm very passionate about, and I'm passionate about it in the context of eliminating it from my life and from as many people's life as possible. And that word is apathy. And I know that sounds like a fancy word, and I think the last time I said something to someone, they're like, "What does that word even mean?" So I get it. But apathy is basically it's the state of just indifference. It's the state of emotionlessness, if I said that right. The lack of motivation, the lack of passion in your life, the lack of concern in your life, and we are often find ourselves in an apathetic state, right? In this state of I don't care. I don't care one way or the other, whatever. or just no emotion, no excitement, no passion in our lives, especially as men. Men are very guilty of finding ourselves in the trap of apathy. And I think as we peel it back today, I think there's some things here that we can apply and some things that we can focus on to really begin the process of eliminating apathy from your life.
Well, let me say it this way, because this definitely is something that we've talked about, and even just this morning, coming into work, this idea, and it's hitting home, I think, because there's so much going on in the world today that is just, man, it makes you do a double take sometimes, and you just wonder, how is that even possible? How are these conversations even happening? And I see it as, man, we are arriving at a place where we just don't care, and we get in this state of it's not worth it. It's nothing to chase. I'm just in the mundane. We're doing the same thing every day, and we become numb to the emotion. And just like you said, we suppress that, and we just get into this thing. And what I've seen and what I believe is that apathy, it's happening, but it's subtle, right? You don't choose to be apathetic. In other words, we are, to some degree, all of us, the product of our environment and our circumstance. We're all living life at a certain pace, and things are happening around us and to us. And so apathy is there in a sense that if we don't make a choice to not be apathetic, we're going to be left in a place where I just don't care. It just happens. It's just life. It's always going to be that way. It's always been that way. And I see that, in the lives of people around me, and it's tragic to me, really, because we were designed for so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, another way to kind of think about it, you've heard this thought of, man, he just phoned it in, right? Or just going through the motions. And I think, and if we really want to look at this, I think there's a byproduct here, because part of the definition of apathy is the suppression of emotions, right? And so we've talked about that men are so guilty about the suppression of their emotions in the context of their struggles, of their fears, of their failures, right? Men do life alone, right? Men struggle alone. Men don't talk. They don't want to talk about, where they're struggling. They don't want to talk about their marital issues. They don't want to talk about, their addictions that they're facing, or the temptation of an addiction that they're facing, and they suppress it. And all of a sudden, that suppression of problems or struggles in our lives that men are all guilty of, the byproduct is, or the overflow of that suppression of, I don't want to tell you that I'm hurting. I don't want people to know that I'm hurting. I don't want people to know that I'm struggling. I don't want people to know that I don't know the answer. All of a sudden, the next thing we know is we're not only suppressing that, we're suppressing our excitement about our jobs, our love of our families. We're suppressing the passion that we may have about fishing or hunting, because so often we struggle to do that in a healthy way, and so it created tension at home, right? It creates tension between your wife or your husband or a family member, because you didn't pursue your passion in a healthy way. So we begin to suppress the passion, the state of our heart about that, and all of a sudden we look up and we've suppressed all emotions, all passions, even any concerns about right or wrong or someone else's well-being. And we look up, and it was a slow fade to being trapped in this prison of apathy. And it's killing us. Apathy is a killer. It is killing men, because men were designed to be influencers. Men were designed to be world changers. Men were designed to be passionate. They were designed to have a heart full of vision and goals and achievement. And apathy is killing us.
Yeah, I think it's a dangerous place to find yourself. And I think we've all been there. We go through these seasons. But if you're listening today and you're going, man, I get it. If you feel like in your gut, man, you've lost that sense of emotion, whether negative or positive. If nothing moves your needle anymore, it's time to do something about it. Because I promise you, you were designed for more. God put something inside of each one of us, a seed of passion, and it's there for a reason. It's there for us to chase and cultivate and live out. that life is not supposed to be mundane. It's not a slow burn until the end. I mean, we were not created for that. We were created to be influencers, like you said, Steve, to make a difference in the people around us, to go out and impact the world, to leave a mark, right? And it's a dangerous place to be if you find yourself today where nothing moves your needle.
Like, I don't think any of us chose this. Like, I don't think you choose to be apathetic, right? I don't think you choose to be just whatever, I don't care, or just emotionless about it, right? It is a byproduct of not choosing things in our life. I mean, B, you said it well earlier. It's this idea of it's the byproduct of the lack of choices that we've made in our life, the lack of concern that we have put towards a particular area of our life, or just the lack of being passionate about whatever it is that's stirring in our hearts, whatever it is that's stirring in your gut, because the world says, you can't achieve that, or you shouldn't pursue that, or what about all this other stuff? And all of a sudden, the byproduct of you not making the choices to live your life to the full, to live out your purpose, to live out these desires that God has put into your heart, you find yourself in a state of apathy. It wasn't a choice. Like, being apathetic is not a choice. The lack of choices leads you to apathy. And so, how can we break that, man? How can we begin to intentionally, on purpose, eliminate apathy from our life? Because, like I said a minute ago, it's killing you. And so, how do we break it, man? What can we do?
I mean, that's where the question came from in my mind today. When's the last time you did something for the first time? Because oftentimes when we step into a new venture, or we chase a new path, or we start a new dream, there's this excitement that comes with it. There's adrenaline that comes with it. There's this newness about it, and that's where we start to feel that fire burn. So, that's, to me, something to explore. When's the last time you did something for the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that statement, and that's why we led with it, guys, I think it's a practical thing, a practical tool, something you can practice. Like, you can ask yourself that every week, and then you can engage in it. You could set a goal and go do it. For example, I mean, the Grip Wild crew later this week, we're all flying out to Colorado. We're going to go fly fishing for the weekend in the mountains. We're going to film. We're going to build a short film off of it. We're going to tell a guy's story. It's going to be amazing, right? This guy's story is amazing, but what we're going to experience is going to be amazing. And we're going to do that because we've never done it, right? And when we had the opportunity, when this trip came up, I said, absolutely, we'll do whatever we have to do to make it work, because I know that it will fuel our passion about what we're doing. I know that being in the mountains of Colorado, look, we could go down the street and film a fly fishing show segment, and build a bunch of content off of the beauty of that and the artisticness of fly fishing, and tell this guy's story. I mean, we have beautiful landscape in Alabama. We have creeks we can fly fish in Alabama, right? But it's this potential way of forcing ourselves to go do something that we've never done for the first time, because that is what's going to give us fuel for our long-term journey. And putting ourselves in the wilderness of something that we know all speaks to our souls is why I said yes. And so we're living that out this week, guys. I mean, we are literally, next week, we're going to be able to answer the question, when's the last time you did something for the first time? And we're going to say, this last weekend, we went to Colorado to go fly fishing. And it's going to be epic and amazing. And we're not doing it because we want everyone to see, look, we're going to go to Colorado and do some epic trip, because it's not about the epicness of it. Is that a word? Epicness, right? But it's not about how epic the trip is or how glamorous the trip is. It's the pursuit of the passion of our heart, right? We have to fuel that. We have to cultivate this passion in our heart, and we have to identify what those things are. And for me and for you, I know it's being in the outdoors. It's experiencing these things that are really soul ties for me. And so I know this is going to fuel my passion, and it's going to give me the energy and it's going to equip me to continue to say, man, I can't slide back into apathy. I can't just slide back into just checking the boxes off every day and just going through the motions and just phoning it in every day. Like, I'm going to continue to fuel this passion in my life, because I know that passion in my life is truly what's going to allow me to help people and move people. And guys, I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest with you today. Like, my number one goal in this podcast is to not fill you full of content. It's not to try to show you how much I know and how much or how many things we can do. And our goal to go into Colorado is not to show you guys, look at this glamorous thing. It's not. Like, that's not our goals in this. Our goals for you is for us to present this in a way that you feel our love and passion for it so much that it moves you to a decision. If you guys spend an entire year listening to this podcast and gaining all the content and all the information about it, but we haven't done it in a way that moves you to make a choice in your life, to make a choice, whatever that is, then we have failed you. We have failed you as listeners. We have wasted your time. And guys, I'm saying that to say you have to be aware of the areas of your life that you have become apathetic, where there's no effort there, there's no concern there, there's no passion there. You have to eliminate apathy from your life. And so the idea of when's the last time you did something for the first time is a great way to not only challenge yourself in that, but to live that out. I think that's a healthy way to get this thing going, to have this kind of interpersonal challenge on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis to do something that is going to move you, to do something that is going to generate and cultivate that passion that's already in you. It's already there, guys. You just gotta light it, man. You gotta light that fire. And so, what are the things to do that? I mean, that's our biggest challenge today, I think.
And so maybe you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, that's great, guys. I wish I could go to Colorado. Wish I could go do what my dream is, And my advice is make a plan. Make a plan. This plan for us started 7 months ago with a conversation. But maybe it's not a trip across the country to go fulfill a bucket list item. It's right here, It's right there in your garage at the house. It's in the backyard, Yeah,
maybe it's taking your wife dancing for the first time because your wife has asked you. And this is a personal challenge of mine. Like, this is real stuff right here, guys. Maybe your wife's asked you to take her ballroom dancing for years, but you won't do it because you're not comfortable, because you don't like it, because you think you'll feel like a fool. Maybe it's something do something that your wife has wanted you to do for so long, and maybe it's not going to cultivate passion for dancing in your life, but maybe it will cultivate a fire in your marriage that you haven't seen in forever because you've just been indifferent, because you haven't been willing to take a risk, because you haven't been willing to step out and love on your wife in a way. Or maybe it's something with your kids or at your career. I dare you to do it. I'm that passionate about it, Brandon, because the more I've studied it, I know without a shadow of a doubt, it wasn't necessarily solely my struggle in life that was eating me alive, that was killing me. It was apathy, because I could have broke it. I could have stopped thinking the way I was thinking. I could have got up. I could have engaged, and I didn't. And so apathy in my own life almost killed me. And that's why I'm passionate about it today, Brandon. And sorry if I'm sorry if I'm hogging the mic, but I believe in it. If you'll break it, everything will change in your life.
So here's the takeaway. It's two things. One, you got to identify the areas in your life where the needle's not moving. Where are you apathetic? And two, what are you going to do this week? What one decision, what one choice, what one activity, what one step can you take this week to start breaking that? Because once you crack the door and the light comes in, it fills the whole room. So take a step. Identify that thing. Be bold. You weren't meant to be apathetic. And to be honest, you know it if you are, it's no way to live. It's not enjoyable.
Absolutely. So do something this week. I challenge you guys. I dare you. Do something this week. Maybe do something today for the first time. Something you've never done. Something that you've been considering forever, but you're scared to do it. You're scared of failure. You're scared of not being competent in it. You're scared of whatever. And maybe it's going to maybe me taking my wife ballroom dancing is going to make me utterly uncomfortable, and I'm going to feel like a fool when I do it. But I guarantee you, if I ever do it, it'll change my marriage. And I want to challenge you today for the exact same thing. Do something this week. Do something today for the first time, and I guarantee you, it will change everything in your life. Hey, before we wrap today, Brandon, I want to talk a little bit about what's coming down the pipeline with Grip Wild. Guys, this summer, we've been spending a lot of time and a lot of effort putting together basically a men's group curriculum. Where you can take this curriculum and you can get together with some buddies and you can just do life together. This is just a week in and week out. We built a 10-week program, but each week you can live out the things that you're hearing on this podcast with a group of men. It was not designed for you to go through it alone. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not telling you that. Say, let me get this material and read through it and watch it myself. No, it's for you and some buddies to do it. But that's coming down the pipeline. It's about to happen. It's gonna be ready for the quote unquote fall season where you can get this. So start thinking about, man, I've been listening to your guys' podcast. I've been following you on Instagram and all your social media stuff. I've been on your website. I get your email blast every week, and I really want to take all this to some buddies. Well, we're gonna equip you to do that. It's gonna be packaged just so you can just take it to them and try to encourage them, equip them, empower them, just like hopefully we've been doing for you. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming. But we're wrapping that up, and we're having to give a lot of time, effort, and resources to kind of bring that to the finish line. On top of, we're going to go film this short film out in Colorado this week, and so over the next couple weeks, I think we're going to be pretty consumed. So we're going to try to feed you guys some content and some information on the podcast, but it may not look like it has been looking for the past half year over the next couple weeks. But once we get that thing wrapped up and ready to be sent out, we'll get back to doing what we're doing on the podcast every Monday. But be watching for that, guys. If you have any questions, man, reach out to Brandon. Brandon, give him your stuff.
Yeah, if you're hearing this and you're fired up about it and you think, man, how do I get those videos and that information so I can get my guys and we can just have these conversations? Just shoot a quick email to info@gripwild.com. info@gripwild.com. Here in about 2 weeks, you'll start to see it more on our website. You'll see some more information about it there, and then also on social media. But if you're interested, man, it's free. There's no charge. We just want to get it out there to you guys. You can have access to it. info@gripwild.com. Just shoot me an email, and we'll go from there.
And also, I'll add, because we don't ever know when someone actually listens to this episode, Brandon, the way we built it and designed it, like, you can engage at any time. Like, you can start at any time. Because it's something that we'll feed you each week and we'll provide just for you each week. And so you can kind of engage in that at any given time. So, but check it out. Email info@gripwild.com, and we would love for you to step in and lead some buddies and some men in your life, maybe some men at your workplace, or just men in your neighborhood, or just guys you're doing life with some of the things that we encourage you with week in and week out. So we love you guys. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate everything that you do. We hear comments, and you guys are always so encouraging to everything we do. But man, subscribe, share, rate it. We really would appreciate it. But you guys, this week, do something for the first time. It'll change your life, and you will be a man who matters. We'll see you next week.